Old School RuneScape is a massive game with thousands of activities to explore and 23 different skills to master. In this series, I want to answer one question. Is it possible to max an account without repeating any skilling methods? It'll take a lot of tenacity, a ton of research, and an unhealthy amount of time, but welcome to episode 1 of Gillinor's first Uniqueman. It has been a hot second since I have restarted this game. This is going to probably end very poorly, but I'm excited to try it. Alright, it is time to begin the adventures of Hyperfixatio. Now there's going to be a lot going on here, so I think I'm just going to cover the rules. Here's future Xoren with some information. Thanks, past Xoren. I'm sure your pessimism will prove completely unwarranted. Oh man, one experience away. Anyway, here's what my stats look like right now. Since the account is fresh, we've got a solid 1 in all 23 of them. The goal? To turn all of those into 99s. This on its own is of course an achievement, but it's hardly a unique one considering 44,124 active players have done it as of February 2024. But as the saying goes, it's about the journey, not the destination, and, to my knowledge, I'll have an entirely unique journey. Old School RuneScape is an incredibly expansive game with skilling methods that no sane person would ever use. But I'm not a fully sane person. This led me to ask myself, are there enough skilling methods to avoid repeating any of them on the road to maxing? And that right there is the guiding tenet behind this account. That leads us to rule number 1. Once I use a skilling method, I'm locked into it for a level's worth of experience and I can't use it again. So let's say that I chop normal trees to get woodcutting to level 2. Once I reach level 2, I can't chop normal trees ever again, at least until I hit 99 woodcutting. I'll be honest, I'm not really sure if this is even possible for all the skills in the game, but that's not going to stop me from trying. I'll come back with some more information in a little bit, but for now, let's go check in on past Xoren and see what he's up to. Now, none of this stuff counts because it's all just Tutorial Island. I've decided to not count anything that's required to move forward, so things like Tutorial Island do not count for methodology, so I'm not locked into chopping normal logs, I'm not automatically chopped into fishing and cooking shrimp. What I'm not allowed to do is anything on Tutorial Island that isn't required, so I can't just go around chopping these trees and get extra levels and then say, oh, I'm going in at level 3. Can't do that. That's cheating. Smithing is one of those skills that I have honestly no idea how I'm going to train it. The main problem that I'm having is I'm not quite sure how I'm going to get bronze bars, because I can't mine copper or tin any more than 1 level each. So I'm going to just have to get monster drops, I suppose? Combat's also got a few unique rules, so here's future Xoren again to tell you what those are about. Thanks again, past Xoren. Hope you're not regretting your decisions yet. Our second rule is straightforward. Hit points will be omitted from this challenge. Since doing any amount of damage will give us hit points experience, it would be impossible to line it up with any of the other combat stats. Rather than come up with some arbitrary rule, I figured it would be best to just leave it be. Rule number 3 covers the rest of combat. Specifically, each level in a combat skill will be achieved with a unique weapon. For example, if I get to level 2 attack by stabbing an innocent Lumbridge citizen with a bronze dagger, I'm locked out of using a bronze dagger to gain any more attack, strength, or defense levels. And while we're here, I'll mention our 4th rule. This account will be an Ironman. No GE, no trading with players, total self-sufficiency. And that's it from me, back to the past we go. The terror that I am unleashing upon myself is immeasurable. And here we are, almost an infinite number of possibilities for me to go forward with. My first goal on this account is probably to actually finish Cook's Assistant. The problem with Cook's Assistant is that it has an experience reward, and that experience reward would actually put me way above level 2 cooking. So if I used it right now to get some cooking experience, I would use the same methodology for level 2 to 3, 3 to 4, and however many I would get from completing Cook's Assistant. So I can't do that. Instead, I need to get my cooking level up to whatever level it needs to be, so that Cook's Assistant will only give me 1 cooking level. I have some tech, some interesting ideas that I found in my research, and we're gonna go do those pretty soon. But first things first, I want to get my combat stats up. That's the easiest thing to do by far. Since I can just kind of go over here, punch a rat to death, I'm gonna get my attack level up. The reason I want to get combat up first is because there's a lot of things that, given my restrictions, I can't farm. Normally, if you want to train cooking, you would do something like go fish shrimps and anchovies and cook those. But since I can can only fish enough shrimps or anchovies to get me up 1 or 2 fishing levels in that case, I won't have enough necessarily to cook to get to the higher levels. So I need to make sure that I have a repeatable method, and most of those repeatable methods for me are going to be through combat, since I can train combat using different weapons on the same mobs. Since I'm allowed to gain a level from every single unique item that I'm using to attack these enemies with, I can gain a level up to level 2 by punching, I can gain up to level 3 through the bronze dagger, 4 from the sword, 5 from the pickaxe, 6 from the bronze axe. We're gonna do that real quick, let's just do a quick montage and get that done with. And that's level 2 attack by punching rats to death. Oh my god, first goblin kill and I already got a beginner clue scroll. I probably can't do this considering it's a Charlie the Tramp. I might actually just drop this, if I'm honest. There's a lot of options that Charlie the Tramp has, and since a lot of them require you to go get the item yourself, that's not really going to be doable on my restricted account. So I'm actually just going to drop this, unfortunately, which is kind of sad. I also need to stop myself from burying these bones, which is a very hard habit to break because the second I actually go to bury one of them, I'm stuck on bones until level 2 prayer, and I can never bury regular bones again. I already have a bit of a plan for the first few levels of prayer, and I'm saving regular bones because they're very easy to get. And that's level 2 attack by stabbing a goblin. Ooh, a bronze spear, that's another option here. I almost just buried those bones, that would have been really annoying. Oh, there's an imp over there. I'm gonna go kill that. I also get ashes from these guys, which will be very useful for prayer. And there he goes. And there's attack level 4. Where'd the imp go? Alright, first imp down, and Eggy. And Fiendish Ashes. And Fiendish Acid. I can't speak. Fiendish Ashes, which will actually be really nice for prayer, because I'm going to need those in a little bit. I'm also going to pick up a training sword and shield, so that I have another weapon to use for my training. Future Xoren here with breaking news. Past Xoren has successfully reached level 2 defense by murdering innocent Lumbridge citizens. Oh, I should also mention that I have a little spreadsheet where I'm going to keep track of all the different methodologies I use to level up to 99 in all the skills. So it's going to have all the information on every single method that I've used for every single skill. If you want to check it out, the link's in the description. I am getting very low on HP, and I don't really have much of an option to get that back. Honestly, dying is kind of a totally fine way to do this because I'm not going to have to pay to get my items back, and I'll respawn right here anyway. So I think I'm just kind of okay with this. Ooh, this might be the end. This might be the end of me. This man is giving me a run for my money. Oh, there I go. And the first death on the account, I'm sure of many. But it's totally okay. I'm not going to have to pay anything to get those items back. Alright, that also had the added benefit of restoring my run energy, which, you know, considering I have to go right here, it's not that big of a deal. But at the same time, like, hey, it's run energy. Alright, back to murdering people for the good of skilling. And that's level 5 attack. Gotta switch weapons. Oh, is it time for death number 2? Oh, it's death number 2, baby! I'm not even gonna go bother to get my training sword and shield back. Oh man, I'm going down again. Oh, there I go. Once again. Fallen to the power of man. Oh, wait a second. I never claimed my armor. What am I doing? That's gonna be a big difference. And he still hits me through the armor. What are these men on, dude? They're able to punch a hole straight through iron armor. Can you, like, explain to me how you're doing this? It would help me a lot. Oh, well, I guess you can't now. And that's level 6 attack. Even with this armor, even with a full set of iron armor, minus the shield, I think I'm still about to die to men and women. I really wish they could explain to me how they're doing this. And that's attack level 7. We are going to call it quits on the combat training for now, and let's go actually get Cook's assistant done. Alright, the first thing we're going to do is actually head over to Entrana, of all places. The first method that I could think of for doing cooking that I found through the wiki. Also, by the way, OSRS wiki team, thank you so much. I reached out to them and asked them, hey, do you guys have a list of all the different types of experience gains that you can get in the game? And they sent me directly to a nifty little page that basically shows you everything you could possibly do to gain experience. So much information that helped me immensely in the planning for this challenge. So thank you so much to the OSRS wiki team. You guys are insane. Keep up the great work. The reason we're heading to Entrana is because Entrana has 2 things that we need. It's got seaweed spawns, and it has a shop that sells a pestle and mortar. We are going to get level 2 cooking, which should not take that long considering we're basically right on the threshold, by grinding seaweed. Grinding seaweed doesn't really give a lot of experience, obviously, but it does give a tiny little bit of cooking experience, so we are going to be using that to get our level up to 2. Cook's Assistant gives us 300 experience, meaning the first level that we can actually do it without over-leveling is level 7 to get to level 8. If we did it any earlier than that, we would be guaranteed to get at least 2 levels. So we're going to go and get to level 7 cooking first, and then from there we'll figure it out as we go. There it is, pestle and mortar. I don't have enough. It's 4? Hold on a sec. Oh my god, I misread it. Actually, wait a second. I can just pick up one of your vials and sell that to you, can't I? I am a genius. Thank you. Now we're going to head over to the seaweed. Just grind that up for a little bit, get that done. And then we're actually going to do something a little strange. We're going to go complete 2 quests. We're actually going to go complete 1 quest. The second quest will come later. We're going to go complete 1 quest. That quest has no direct experience rewards, and it's X marks the spot. The reason we're going to do X marks the spot is because that gives us access to Xoren. So once we do that, we can head over to Xoren and we can do our level 2 training method. So, we use the pestle and mortar on this, and we get no experience? That's a problem. I am a genius. As it turns out, ground seaweed used to give 1 cooking experience. It does not give cooking experience anymore, so this is a complete waste of time. So let's go do X marks the spot. I'm gonna double check before we go do that my other method is still going to work. We're learning. Hello, Veos. I'm looking for a quest, specifically the quest that you give me. Alright, this antique lamp will give 300 experience in any skill of my choosing. I have quite literally no idea what I'm going to spend that on, so for now it's just going to kind of sit there. We are going to head over to Xoren's, because we have something very important to do over there, which is to get level 2 cooking. Now, in order to do level 2 cooking, we are actually going to head over here to one of the original mini-games in this section that was originally used to gain favor, mostly. The main thing we're going to be using it for is this little cooking range over here, where we can get meat out of the cabinet and cook that for 1 cooking experience each. At this level, fortunately, it's only going to take us 13 meat to get to the next level. I want to get these very early 1 experience methods out of the way quickly, so I'm not stuck doing them at level, 96 and having to be there for literal millennia. Honestly, removing Xoren favor was probably one of the best things they could have possibly done for the game. It was not very good, if I'm honest. As much as I enjoyed it as a concept, it was not executed properly. It definitely was a drag. It was just a grind. It was just so unnecessary. Oh, there's a fox over here. I didn't know there were wild foxes over here. That's one thing I'm definitely missing from my main, is my fox pet. I wish I had him with me. Okay, we are here in the kitchen. We can head over to the food cupboard, grab some meat, and we can cook some servery. Oh, I guess it's not. Oh, it's the meat table. Duh. Oh, look at that. 1 experience. Dude, we're doing it. Oh, 1 more. Come on. Yeah, level 2 cooking. Alright, now we can leave this godforsaken place. Now, the second method that we're going to use to do cooking is going to actually take quite a lot longer. There is another method in the game, well, I guess there are a few other methods in the game to getting 1 experience per action, but all of them are locked behind higher level cooking activities, like nettle water and pita dough. We're going to be doing swamp paste. We can make swamp paste by taking swamp tar and combining it with flour, and then we can cook that on a fire in order to get swamp paste, and that gives us 2 cooking experience every time we do it. Since we're going to need 91 experience to get to level 3, we're going to need to do this 46 times, so it's going to be a hot second, but it is one of the best methods that we can use right now, so we don't have to do it later. So I did look it up because I really didn't want it to be true, but it turns out you can actually burn this stuff, so we are going to need more than 46 swamp tar and more than 46 flour in order to do this. And since flour is going to be a pain to get, this is going to take a while. I'm just going to go ahead and grab 90 of it to be safe. I did do a little look-see, and it turns out that I can actually buy pots of flour in Port Sarim, which I did not know, but I'm thinking I might actually just go do it manually, depending on if swamp paste can be stacked. Because if it can be, then I'm just going to do it manually so I can have the pots for later, just in case. If I had more gold, I would actually be considering going and buying the stuff directly from Port Sarim, but since I'm going to have to do 100 of it, that would be quite a lot of money. It would be 1,000 GP, which I don't have the funds for that. Okay, now let's go hope that we can actually stack these swamp pastes. If we can't, this is going to be a not fun experience. Let's see, does this stack? Oh, it does. Oh, thank the merciful lords. And this is going to be my life for the next 20 minutes. 30 seconds of your time, but 20 real-life minutes of my time. Now, just as a reminder, all of this is to do Cook's Assistant, one of the very first quests you do upon getting into the game on any new account. All of this work is going towards doing that quest. So just to put things into perspective onto how this series is going to look in the future, this is all for one of the most basic quests the game has to offer. And with this last swamp paste, we are now cooking level 3. Oh boy, 2 hours to get to 3 cooking. Alright everyone, I think that's where we're going to leave off for today. We will continue our journey towards Cook's Assistant next time. If you want to see all of my progress, please make sure to like and subscribe so you can see what I'm doing. If you want to see all the methods that I use to level up in this episode and all the episodes coming up, then feel free to go ahead and check out the spreadsheet that I have linked in the description. As always, I hope you have an excellent rest of your night, a wonderful rest of your week, and I will see you all next time.